If you've been keeping up with our 50 States tour, you know that we've already been to Tennessee. But this year we're back again to do something that we wish we could have done last year.
Today we're exploring Cades Cove in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park.
The first thing you want to make sure you do on your Cades Cove adventure is have a full tank of gas, because you never know how long you're going to be stuck in traffic.
We're actually not even in the national park yet, which is crazy, but one of the cool things about the Great Smoky Mountain National Park is that it's free. A lot of national parks, you either have to have a national park pass to get in or you have to pay, but because it's free, so many people come here, which is awesome, but also not awesome because you're stuck in traffic like this. TJ went to get our Cades Cove Loop map. We got a map of the whole national park, but it'll be nice to have one just for Cades Cove. And really cool thing, the people working here at Cades Cove are so nice.
This was $1.
Yes, if you're coming to Cades Cove, make sure you have cash or coins to get your maps for $1. There's a few different options, but I think the main one you need is the Cades Cove guide.
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
So to tell you a little bit about Cades Cove, this whole entire loop used to be a community hundreds of years ago. And because of that, there's several cabins and there's also some churches that have been preserved. We are sitting in the Methodist Church right now, which is really cool. And you'll notice that there are 2 doors, which we read that means the congregation used to be separated, men on one side and women on the other. This church didn't follow that. However, they borrowed the building plans from another church that did. So that's why they have 2 doors. Sitting in the Missionary Baptist Church, and we're not very far from the Methodist Church, which also is not very far from the Primitive Baptist Church. But this church was founded in 1839 because some people were kicked out of the Primitive Baptist Church for favoring missionary work. So that's when they founded this church. During the Civil War, they didn't meet, but then after the war, they resumed meeting again without people who favored and sympathized the Confederate Army. This house behind us was originally a store when it was built in 1879. Then they added a few rooms onto it and the upstairs and the porch, and a lady named Becky, better known as Aunt Becky, bought this with her brother, and they lived here, and then it was a family home. That you probably need to bring cash for if you're interested is that there is a man and his wife. They have a horse and they have an old wood burning stove that they are making like sauces and jams with, and they looked really good. us is one of the houses from this community here in Cades Cove. And the interesting thing about it is that the chimney is made of bricks, which was not common at the time this house was built. Can you imagine this as your front porch view every day?
I feel like people must have been like 4 feet tall back then, because I was walking out of the house and looking at my camera and totally smacked my head on the door frame.
None of the ceilings are taller than 6 feet. Some of them, I think they're shorter. And my theory is that they built them low because heat rises and they want the heat in their house.
Probably.
Since it was a fireplace heater.
That makes the most sense. So a bystander who was listening to us record that last bit actually said that she's right. So there you go. It's to keep heat in. Now there's a couple things to keep in mind when planning your trip to Cades Cove. First of all, it could be about an hour to an hour and a half from Gatlinburg with no restroom stops, so be sure and use the bathroom before you leave. Also, once you get to Cades Cove, there's a nice little visitor center with a restroom there as well. Also, you can plan to stay for about 4 hours to do the entire 11-mile loop. So at every cabin and every church and those sort of places, you can stop, you can walk around and explore those. That's why it can take you a while. Also, while you're here, there are several hiking options. The Abram Falls Trail is always a favorite. It is 2.5 miles one way, but if you're not interested in hiking that long, because it takes anywhere from like 3 to 4 hours, there are several other options that are shorter. Some are about a mile or even less than that. So there's something for everybody. One of my favorite things coming out here was that even though it took about an hour and a half to get here from the park entrance in Gatlinburg, you're driving through the national park. It's absolutely beautiful and it didn't even feel like that long of a drive. So if you've been following our 50 states tour so far, you knew that we adventured in Tennessee last year. Well, a year from last year, we're back again. I don't know why I handed you the camera. I got nothing to say.
Hey, you're cute.
Thanks.
Wanna go on an adventure with me?
Yeah, your camera's dirty.
Oh, I thought you were gonna show everybody your abs. I think that the ceilings, like, none of them are taller than 6 feet. A lot of them are shorter. And I think... Sorry, it's just the sun's coming out. Okay, sorry, take it from your part again. All right, now a couple things to keep in mind when heading and planning. Oh. Wait. Ready? Mm-hmm. All right, now there's a couple things to keep in mind when planning your trip to Cades Cove. First of all, it could be, I can see you laugh. Oh, it was the way you said it was different. It was good.
All right.